TitleMatchNetwork.com.
People who are watching this shoot, we're doing this during the WSU ECW doubleheader. So hopefully the announcer will shut up in a second so we can not have any interference here. Sounds like he's done talking. Yeah, let's finish up with Smoky Mountain before we talk about Japan again. Business at Smoky Mountain obviously wasn't great.
It started out okay. Jimmy, I don't think really knew, because it wasn't a summer territory. It was more a winter and fall territory. Summer, he planted some of his big angles in the summer, and those people were outside playing ball, boating, hunting, fishing. They are. And two, the economy in them places wasn't the best. And two, wrestling as a whole, it was hard because there's so much on TV. And two, Jimmy was a lot of time with New York. It's a lot of things. A lot of things. And plus, we were all burnt out. We'd all been there a while and wasn't fresh anymore.
Well, I mean,
they should turn me heel, but I didn't really want to turn heel because I'd lose the gimmick sales.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know if that would, a lot of guys that should have switched it around. But
were you guys disappointed when Smoky Mountain went out of business?
It was a shock. You kind of knew. I was working. We were doing the USWA Smoky Mountain thing.
Right. There's a few.
I would work Monday through Wednesday for Waller. And I worked Thursday through Sunday for Jimmy. So I just went and worked full time for Waller after that. And then I started getting to Japan at the first of '96. It shut down, I want to say Thanksgiving or Christmas of '95. I think Thanksgiving shows. I can't remember. Cookeville, Tennessee was last night when Jimmy told us.
So you guys didn't?
We didn't know. He thought he'd draw enough to keep it going,
Was the writing on the wall? Did the locker room know?
It was kind of like getting where a lot of the focus was going to the big shows, and spot shows were hurting. But then it's hard to draw. The population only a few hundred people. It's hard to get people in the building.
Well, like in ECW, checks were bouncing. People knew that it was coming.
Yeah.
Smoky Mountain, was it different? I mean, was it more?
Well, Rick Rubin stuck in. He lost the guy. He was the owner of the Black Crows. He owned them, and he was the backer. He was the owner. And
there was a story, a rumor that you found some investors.
I did.
Is that what you were about to talk about there?
Well, no, I wasn't, but I wasn't about to talk about it. But I mean, yeah, I did. TT Colley, Cam Colley, I knew her. I knew their family. Multi-millionaire, he still is. I still talk to him. I'm still friends with that family out of Pikeville, Kentucky. I told Jimmy that night that I said, look, I says, I think I can. These people will buy. And I talked with Cam. I talked with their father. And her father just wanted Cam to have some kind of figurehead on the TV, a commissioner, you know what I mean? Something like that. And he would take up the debts. He wasn't worried about it, the debts, what it owed and everything else to do. And I talked to Jimmy about it, and Jimmy was burnt out. And Jimmy was with Vince and was figured in big. And he really didn't want him to assume those debts and really cared about it. And he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to. And he was burnt out, man. Jimmy lost his mind, Cornette, but yeah, they were ready to take it over, but he couldn't. I don't think Jimmy could get that these guys wasn't worried about the debts and what it was owed, which he had to pay to get it going, with whatever was owed. You follow what I'm saying? Because I don't know what all was owed, and he just, he didn't do it.
Let's talk about Japan now. He ended up at IWA Japan, and he also worked for Wing as Jason the Terrible.
Yeah.
Whose idea was that?
Kevin Sullivan.
Was he in Japan at the time?
He was working Smoky Mountain, and he was going to work for Wings. And I had not been let go out of Atlanta long. And and he says, you want to go to Japan? Back then, WCW was working with New Japan,
right.
So you couldn't get in there no more. Mr. Baba, they had 14, 16 guys, and they rotated them, but those guys got 16, 20 weeks a year. They had their crew, and Danny Crawford, Phil Fon, Doug Furness, Johnny Ace, Dan Spivey, Dan Hansen, Wisco, Abby, a lot of guys, and a lot of boys from Canada too, and you couldn't get in there, and I didn't really know nothing about them. Only two offices I'd ever, back then when I was in '88 to '90, was Baba, New Japan and the shoot group, Maeda, was the only ones.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.